Well, we have another award show coming up. The 68th Annual Tony Awards takes place in New York, June 8th. As for the past few years, it will again be hosted by Hugh Jackman. The Tony Award celebrates all that is the best of Broadway. Some of the nominees are Bryan Cranston for All the Way, Neil Patrick Harris for Hedwig and the Angry Inch, Idina Menzel from the movie Frozen, starring in If, Then, and many others. Expected to present are Bradley Cooper, Clint Eastwood, Fran Drescher, wow, Dennis and Mario, just to name a few. The Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder has 10 nominations under its belt, including Best Musical and Best Book of a Musical, followed by Beautiful, the Carole King Musical, and After Midnight, both with a total of 7 nominations. Let's watch this show clip from The Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder.
Gracious bestowment. Yes, Wadsworth, I told you. Be just a moment!
Now, Monty, I think I am to go. I still want to marry you.
Evans.
I've decided to marry you.
Just go along to marry you. Yes, I'm delighted to marry you, marry you, marry you. A shame you must go.
So that musical looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
From what I understand, it is, and it is very highly nominated.
10
and
nominations. It's
that's
well worth it. What won last year?
Well, last year's Best Musical went to Kinky Boots.
That's right.
Music written by Cyndi Lauper, which I thought was, I don't know if you saw the original movie, which was so spectacular. It took place in London, and the one on Broadway was just a total like dance fest, and it really, really did take the direction from what the movie was, but really incorporated it into what people expect to see on Broadway.
Wow, that's awesome.
I mean, really, and it's just the characters are all amazing, and I mean, Cyndi Lauper really does deserve, you know, that last year, and now she's on with Cher.
Yes, she
doing
is.
her tour coming up soon.
Kill. Yeah. Not that I would admit this to everyone, but I watched Dance Moms, and they actually did a number from Kinky Boots, and they had professional drag queens come in and dress the girls up like drag queens, because that was sort of the premise of the whole movie. So
movie.
Very good.
Broadway.
The stars and producers of My Big Fat Greek Wedding, which opened in 2002, are reuniting to make a sequel. Nia Vardalos wrote the script for this project and will reprise her role as Tula Potakalis, while John Corbett is attached to reprise his role as well. Greek Wedding was one of the most successful independent movies of all time. 241 million at the domestic box office. Playtone, HBO, and Gold Circle are behind the new project, and Rita Wilson, Tom Hanks, and Gary Goetzman are returning as producers. You know that anything Tom Hanks touched turns to gold, so I imagine.
Oh, of course. Well, and his wife, Rita,
yeah?
she's Greek also, I think. I think she is. I'm not, don't quote me, but I'm almost positive she's Greek, and that's why they did the first film, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, because it reminded her so much of her family growing up, because if you come from a family like that, you can't go wrong, in a sense. It's like, you know, the slapstick humor, but it really does happen.
It does. I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's great that they actually have the originals come back too.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
well, John Corbett hasn't really done much in a while.
No, I mean, he did Sex and the City, and then he did My Big Fat Greek Wedding, or
vice versa.
But I haven't seen him do too much either.
No. He's probably doing independent films. But Nia, I did see an episode of Law and Order she was on. She just nailed the role. I think she was the prosecutor. It was so good. You just wanted to go and like just get really mad at her, because I forget who she was defending, but she was so excellent in it. Really, really good.
Good. Well, unlike Corbett, the Kardashians are back in the limelight.
Yes, they are. More Kardashian news, but I think this will be the end for a little bit for us to talk about them. Well, what happened was drama ensued as Robert Kardashian, 27, skipped out on his sister Kim's wedding. Rumor had it that Rob fled Florence, Italy before the nuptials began for personal issues. According to some sources, Kim had asked family members to wear clothing by designer Valentino, who hosted a lunch at his home in Paris called Videville, and Rob allegedly could not fit into any of the Valentino clothing, which upset Kim. Other rumor claims that Rob refused to participate in all aspects of a Vogue photo shoot. They wanted to get the whole family together, and the mom is trying to stage a successful intervention on Rob's weight issues. Now, I don't know how you feel about that. I think it's just...
What's the intervention? Call Jenny Craig? I mean, come on. The boy's fat. Wire his jaw shut so he stops eating and stay away from the booze, because he's been hanging out a lot with Scott.
Scott, right? Yeah, the brother-in-law, yeah.
You know, it's sad. I mean, when you think of an intervention, you think about people who are hooked on drugs.
Seriously, a serious issue, right?
This is ridiculous.
I mean, because at one point when the Kardashians first came out with their show, he was like the dream boy, the dream idol, and all that, and then just, I don't know.
It's foolish. Nothing else to do. The intervention should be on Bruce Jenner and everything he's having done to his face. That's the intervention. That's the intervention.
Yes. Well, or the intervention should be really don't promote your child to become a porn star first, become famous, and make tons of millions of dollars.
There you go.
That's a real intervention. That's just not socially accepted.
Leave Rob alone. If he's fat, he's happy. Trust me, I know.
Right. Well, also wait. People who did upstage the Kardashian wedding they were called the Mini Kim and Kanye. And they took place, they were little people, and they got married in Las Vegas. And they had the whole spread of people, and it was like a big blowout. And supposedly it was a lot of fun, yes.
That's great. Was the theme Wizard of Oz? Just wondering. No.
No. It was I'll meet Rob and have some munchkins at Dunkin' Donuts.
There you go. From one munchkin to another. So, according to the Hollywood Reporter, HBO has picked up a script for Open City. This period piece is set during the 1960s in New York. It explores characters from disparate corners of Manhattan as they navigate the Cultural Revolution and political turmoil of the era. The drama also examines the unlikely alliance between the mafia and the city's gay community in the opening of the West Village nightclub. Now, Ronnie Lorenzo, who's a former mobster and the original owners of the Stonewall Inn, is going to serve as a consulting producer. The Stonewall Inn is a famous New York City bar and the setting of 1969 Stonewall riots, considered the birth of the gay rights movement and the fight for LGBT equality in the U.S. I think it's fantastic that they have Ronnie Lorenzo join them. He was there, first-hand experience, knows what it's like. It's great to have facts instead of fiction and speculation. So I'm kind of excited because HBO produces such a great original TV series. That,
yes, they do. I mean, they just did the Normal Heart, the Larry Kramer, which was on Broadway. They just redid that, and I do agree with you that Ronnie. It's a good thing to have him on board. I've been there many times. I don't know if he was there or not. I was, too young, but I was of age, of course. But, no, and it's still a landmark. There's so many people that just stop and just start taking their photos outside of the inn and all that.
Wow.
So
that's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
Well, just a little tidbit, just because I have to get it off my chest. But I mean, I love it. I think it's great. But fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld doesn't go anywhere without his traveling companion and muse, Baptista Jean Bicchiani. So Lagerfeld has made a chocolate sculpture created in his likeness, which was done in 2011, and is debuting in Paris.
Well, it debuted in Paris.
Debuted in Paris, yes.
In Paris, yeah. I saw that. It was very interesting, and we have photos up.
Yes.
Gives a whole different meaning to bite me, I guess, right? Eat me, bite me.
Skid marks on the sheet? No.
Classy. We never said we were a classy show.
Just class with a K.
That's right.
Kardashian class.
America's Got Talent debuted last night. As usual, it brought in a lot of great acts and a lot of not so great acts. But I have to say the highlight of the show was when Nick Cannon, disguised as Larry the Mime, entered the stage.
Last week we talked about up-and-coming music artists. Now let's take a turn to the virtual world.
That this was Nick
First
Cannon.
on the list, developing company Sledgehammer has released a trailer for their debut Call of Duty video game. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare envisions powerful battlegrounds of the future.
And then we'll see what else happens. We'll show you the clip here.
In a new era of combat for the franchise. Delivering a stunning performance, Academy Award-winning actor Kevin Spacey stars as Jonathan Hines.
Where do you guys get off telling me how to
mine? Vision of the future of war. The Sledgehammer Duel game launches on November 4th, 2014.
I guess because you're I'll speak to the past.
Telltale Games is set to release an episodic video game inspired by HBO's Game of Thrones.
No, you don't, because all you do is run your mouth, pal. That's all you do. You're a moron. That's what you are.
Confirmed for release on PC, Mac, and mobile devices, the game is first unveiled as part of video was described as a multi-year multiplayer partnership between Telltale and HBO. That's no doubt good news for fans of Game of
You can't take it. You're bald, you don't like to touch people, plastic girl, supermodels up off the top anyway. Who you say? You? No. What? Who you think you're on right now?
Security.
Watch it. No. Who you think you're
Watch him.
I didn't have it about how many times.
It's you! It's me!
That's next!
I wish I'd saw it. Yeah, I mean, it is funny. And Nick Cannon, I mean, they egg people on. And I think the new judges are actually pretty good. I mean, Heidi's new, and then, well, yeah, Heidi's it's her first time on.
No, they're all repeats from last season.
They are?
They are.
Except our favorite Sharon Osbourne, who's not on.
She's not on anymore.
I know. She was really good. I liked her a lot.
She was. But Howie Mandel fled that stage like the guy had the plague.
Sure.
It was so funny. So funny. It was great.
Well, there's a new movie coming out called The Fault in Our Stars, starring Shailene Woodley as Hazel and Ansel Elgort as Gus. And it's about two teenagers who meet at a cancer support group. Hazel has her constant companion, which is an oxygen tank, while Gus jokes about his prosthetic leg, leading them to become very close friends. This is based on one of the best-selling books that had come out, and it really, I've seen clips for it, and it does look something I would go and see because it has a serious issues, but it's lighthearted, and it's just showing how people can overcome like certain health problems that they like losing, having a prosthetic, or having like an oxygen tank.
I mean, that's interesting because they've done shows in the past where boy meets girl, someone's dying, then she dies. Or he dies. But no one ever threw in a prosthetic
What was
limb.
the classic one? Love Story.
Yeah.
Ali McGraw.
Yeah. So the prosthetic limb is a new twist.
Right.
Kind of like that. You could actually store maybe the oxygen tank inside the limb.
And ventilate it out like,
Easy to carry. Anyways, so if you're not sure what to do this weekend, then head out to the movies. The much anticipated Maleficent with Angelina Jolie opens Friday, as well as A Million Ways to Die in the West, which I'm really looking forward to.
That's going to be very funny.
That's like a star-studded cast. It has Seth MacFarlane, Charlize Theron, Liam Neeson, plus Neil Patrick Harris is in it, a bunch. So I wanted to really just take a quick look at the trailer for any of those folks who haven't had an opportunity to see it.
Oh, hey, look, it's the ice. Why is it so big?
So it doesn't melt. It's actually really interesting how they do it. It's this one company out in Boston that...
That went south so fast!
To our community.
Welcome to our awesome town.
What's with this fair?
Every year, people die.
Really?
Everybody hold still.
Hold still!
People die at the fair.
People die at the fair.
Somebody in this town is going to die.
What do you say I steal a bottle of whiskey and we hit the road?
I love that idea.
A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Maybe the frontier's not so bad after all.
Hey, it's a sweet young couple. Can I interest you folks in a miracle cure?
Now that looks like a funny film.
Oh yeah, it does.
That looks like a funny. Can't wait to.
There's one scene where they're like, they're burying somebody, and these two guys have like two bodies over them. They're like, can we use the space too? And they just dump them in. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. But there are other movies too. Those aren't the only two.
Right.
Just to name a few, there's also Filth, Lucky Them, and Delivery: The Beast Within. But the top two for me are Maleficent and
A Million Ways.
A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Well, what I think is amazing also is, we had briefly discussed her last week, but Lana Del Rey does the song Once Upon a Dream for Maleficent. And it is so, as CJ said, that smoky, deep, sort of sexy. It really makes you think about the story of Sleeping Beauty, because did she have an affair with the prince, the king? And and just the way she sings it and the way it sounds like something did happen like that. And
you never know. They had fun back then.
Oh, they did. Yes.
Now we're so PC.
Yeah, castles and
everything's behind closed doors, unless you're, of course, the Kardashians.
Right.
It's all out there.
That's true.
It's all out there.
Or mini Kim and Kanye.
That's right. So we actually have an actress with a brain.
Yes,
correct?
Emma Watson.
Very exciting.
Emma Watson recently graduated from Brown University with a bachelor's degree in English literature. Attending the ceremony, which made a lot of people think, was her bodyguard, Denise Marone, a former New York police lieutenant, disguised as a college graduate. My thing is, she's British. Why is she studying like English literature? Don't you learn that in school automatically?
That.
You know, that's like an easy pass.
Anything, sociology.
Right.
I mean, why make $1 million a show when you can make $25 an hour?
Right. Of course.
Know what I mean?
I mean, there are some other people who've really done well. Jodie Foster going to Yale.
Right.
Who was the other one? Natalie Portman. You know, she stopped and her career, and I think she went to Harvard. So there's a lot of like strong actresses out there that are trying to just, you can call me wrong, but there's always that fear, specifically with female actors, that once they pass a certain age, there's no jobs for them. So maybe they want to have a sort of a security. Yeah. You know, where men can get older and older, and you know what I mean. It's like that's fine.
You know, and you make a good point, because a lot of the screen stars are transitioning into theater, which I think is really interesting. Denzel Washington, Neil Patrick Harris. There's a whole slew of them, and I think that's sort of like, that reminds me of. This is probably not a good analogy, but you know, where do old people go? They go into the old age homes, and where do old TV actors go? They go into the stage.
Right.
Tyne Daly's in the show as well. I mean, and she's a great actress. I loved her.
Right. Cagney and Lacey. That was a really good show.
That was.
And Sharon Glass or Glass? Sharon Glass.
Yeah. Who was in Queer as Folk.
Yes,
now,
she played the mother. I haven't seen her since that.
They should do a reprise of Cagney and Lacey.
That would be really good.
One in the wheelchair.
No.
An oxygen tank and a prosthetic leg. So,
really?
That wraps up this edition of the Mario and Dennis Show. Before we go, we do want to send our thoughts and prayers out to Maya Angelou's family. Maya
Angelou, yes.
Dr. Maya Angelou passed away this week at the age, she was in her mid-80s. She died in her home, Winston-Salem in North Carolina. We're going to close the show, actually, in tribute of her with one of her more famous poems, I Will Rise. This is Mario.
I'm Dennis.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Just 'cause I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like suns and like moons, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just 'cause I laugh. As if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words. You can cut me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness. But just like life, I'll rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh. Does it come as a surprise that I dance? As if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs. Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, naturally, there I go rising.